Thank you for joining us back on the Fake Agent Casting Couch of the Three Shots Podcast Studios. How long has it been, folks? Well, let's see. My ED cleared up and Bitcoin is back with a vengeance, so it's been too damn long. Regardless of whether too long is an inaccurate description of most things in my life or not, welcome back to another episode of See Dad, You Can Buy It on the Stock Market Now. I'm your host, Joey Crypto, JC, savior to exactly zero people, much chagrined, much wow, and finally, much back. What in the seven hells has happened? Where did I go? What the actual effing heck is up with Bitcoin? Did all these upgrades fix Ethereum? That and more as we toss crypto salad violently, but with consent. You may be asking yourself, where has the slightly above average crypto jokester been with a very small following that would grow if he just put in the fucking effort been the past while? And I'll refer you to the last words I said as a free man before being arrested. Eat my ass copper. I know you like it. Use more tongue. Ironically, those 12 words are my hot wallet's passphrase. Unironically, I had to recite them in front of a very conservative judge. No, I wasn't in jail, on the lam, nor in it, but I had to focus on making shitty fiat dollars in preparation for our next upcoming bull run. So 60 to 70 hours a week doesn't leave a lot of time for magic internet money, and wishing Michael Saylor would finally take me up on that offer to be his wet worker. Feel free to look up the Urban Dictionary entry for wet worker at your leisure. Tongues and assholes and long days aside, this too shall pass. Bitcoin, like my credit score, is once again under 70, and that's pretty much it, folks. Pack it in. Bull market is over before it even began. BTC will never be as high as the average 1950s housewife cleaning the house on amphetamines. At least that's what bears like Peter, my mouth doubles as a urinal shift, want us to believe. Dude, what's it going to take? At what point can Bitcoin bears finally say enough is enough, Bitcoin wins, and I'm wrong? I'm assuming at this point it's a failure of their institutions that they're most at odds with. There are probably a fair number of priests that still think celibacy is the way to go, even though historically speaking, that's had a success rate worse than the times I've been the fifth wheel on dates with my wife and her boyfriend. Despite Bitcoin bears being the only profession more hated than influencer, it still draws a shocking number of man buns and boomers like Gareth Soloway and Peter Schiff disrespectfully. So let's see where we're at. I still believe BTC will hit 120 to 150K by the end of the bull run. But boy, was I a misspeaking fool on Crypto Airborne's channel when I said that was the level I believed for 2023. I meant that for all of the bull run, not just 23. But now that I've said that, I'll hopefully be wrong again and it hits 250K. But who the hell cares? We'll get there eventually. But ETH, don't get me started on Ethereum, as I can do that all on my God's damned own. Denkin upgrade is completed on the Ethereum network. And yes, I'm going to make that reference / nickname work. Using Ethereum is like getting tested for STDs. Number one, the more mature people with more money and better healthcare have an easier time putting up with it. 2, we've gotten better at it over the years, and it's cheaper while the cost is still uncomfortable. 3, there are clearly better and cheaper options, but you still like getting fucked much more. 4, the conversation with your girlfriend is very awkward discussing where that money went. And number 5, the conversation with your wife is even more awkward than the one you just had with your girlfriend. So, what the actual fuck did Denkin do beside give us an excuse to have ETH in the spotlight about as long as it takes to say you shouldn't be on stage missing that many teeth with that much cellulite? Denkin actually brought some value to ETH's layer 2s. Fuck, the layer 2s again? Is that really all we have time to upgrade? Is interoperability? This is a fucking change or die moment, and ETH is just giving us the finger before opening its coat to show the various knockoff Rolexes and pirated DVDs it has for sale. As much as I'd love to see John Wick 2 in Japanese with English subtitles, I'm convinced that if I tried just a tiny bit harder, I could just use a cheaper fucking network not riddled with Elon Musk meme tokens and crypto bros that wish they were hung like the poster child for scoliosis, Vitalik Buterin. So, also Elon Musk. Okay, so Cardano isn't exactly built for certain speeds, and Solana works about as well as the Matrix if the robots ran on fucking Windows 95. But what about Multiverse / Elrond / I don't care what the fuck it's called, why did you change it? Are we really going to suffer at the hands of it's cheaper on Matic for time and all eternity? Or will there be something to replace numero dos? And by numero dos, I mean number 2, and by number 2, I mean poop. ETH is poop. I don't know what will replace it, but when something does, I'll be here to write incredibly cruel jokes about the network and its founder while simultaneously making money on it. So screw you guys. If BitBoy Ben Armstrong can do it, I can too. And let's be honest, comedy is not his strong suit. Speaking of Armstrongs, Brian, I know you're the CEO of Coinbase, and I made some very juvenile and rude jokes about you on Crypto Airborne's channel last week, but I just want you to know that in no way was it a reflection of my true feelings, which I assure you are much worse, and which I will enumerate in the months and years to come, but please don't shut down my account on Coinbase. I know I made crappy comments about your mom and referenced a fictitious battle that she's having with cancer that I made up on the spot, unless, of course, it's true, then I take full credit. So when you get so depressed, you step down as CEO and get someone to keep the platform from going down every time the market is fucking hot, we would sure appreciate it. Circling back around to stuff that doesn't suck, thanks to a tweet by my friend Ryan's great Twitter handle, Obi-Wan, I just learned that if it weren't for shitcoins, Bitcoin would be twice as big currently. So go ahead and keep shitcoining for those 1,000 X's. But god damn it, get some BTC when you use everyone else's exit liquidity. Or I mean, when you secure your gains, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Ryan's always telling me to get off Zero, to which I always reply, your dog being named Zero is not my fault. And he humped my leg first. For reals though, we should be on the path to 1 sat to equal $1 someday. Maybe. Call me crazy. I know, it's crazy. I know. So why not be a part of that and get your BTC? Granted, we could be 100 years from BTC doing 1,000x from current levels, but they don't call it generational wealth for nothing. Get it started for the sake of your children's children. It's the gift that keeps on giving, just like childhood resentment of absentee parents and guardians. Holy fuck, I just realized Bitcoin even fixes therapy for a bad upbringing. Fuck, BTC really does fix everything. But honestly, give him a follow. He's basically me, but actually the exact opposite in every way. He really does his homework instead of writing jokes. He's calm and collected. He has a good cohesive argument for everything and for his beliefs. I guess you could say the only thing we legitimately have in common is our lack of love for fiat and our deep-seated love for bidets. You guys know how many times I wipe? Once. And that's just to dry off. Feel free to Photoshop that moment with a pair of pixelated sunglasses. Now, I know it's painful out there, folks. I know if you're a leveraged trader, you're probably not doing well. But that's just because it's Monday and even your therapist told you just to buy and hodl. And I know if you're anxious for the bull run to get on with it, this might feel like a low blow to have some sad price action. But don't forget, there are plenty of folks out there that have been in this game for over a decade. They've been through ups and downs of a bull run multiple times already. They've been right where you are right now. They bought and they hodled. And they don't care about you at all. They're better at hodling than you are. They're rolling their eyes and waiting for the spring of 2025 to get here. So get good, sucker. Stop wasting your money on diesel pickups and cringeworthy rate my setup computer desks that you use to race professionally on the weekend and buy some thrice bedamned BTC. Not financial advice. By the way, congrats to Avalanche and Render hodlers. These two are performing surprisingly well in my portfolio. I would say congrats to Solana holders, but only as soon as you stop shitting the bed as often as my 1-year-old. Speaking of which, Fuck, I've got a fourth kid on the way. Please, oh crypto gods of the bull run, I'm not even asking for millionaire status. Just help me make 100K or two. That's all I need. What do you guys think? Are we in for a general 20x from here? Obviously, BTC won't do that, but I think this may be one of our last decent entry points right now for the market. So get your positions set by the time the halving rolls around, my internet friends. Or no more handyman references to those of you that saw my appearance on the Airborne channel. As always, I'm Joey Crypto, and I've got to bid you farewell as my wife's boyfriend is giving me the wrap it up sign so he can get on with his evening. Until next time, from the Three Shots Podcast studio, very good night, everybody.